Tell me, what are the enhancements done in interface as part of Java 8?
So they have the Java community has introduced static and as well as default method within the interface.
Okay. What is the difference between synchronized HashMap and concurrent HashMap?
So synchronized HashMap actually when used in multi-threading environment, so it blocks out the whole code when while writing through it while doing the writing operation. But in case of the concurrent hash map, it blocks only the segment in which the write operations executes. So basically, segment is in the bucket.
Okay. Uh, what is the use of load factor in Java?
What is the use
Sorry,
of
what is the use of load factor in HashMap?
load factor? Okay, so load factor actually determines like how many element you initially have. So for example, when you define out the hash map, so initially it has a size of the bucket. You can say like the bucket size is 16 from 0 to 15. So if you can define out the load factor as 75, so it basically give you an indication like around 12 elements you are having. And also in case if you wanted to increase the size of it, so that load factor also will be the determinant for it in the case of increasing the size of the hash map.
Okay. So, how can you create custom immutable class?
Why there are certain steps. So first step would be defining out your class as a final one so that no one can override it. Secondly, you need to define members as private as well as final, and there should be no setup for it, and it should have a reference for the deep copy returning, and other than that, public constructor is there. Yes, I think that's pretty much it.
Can we overload or override the Java main method?
Uh, okay. Um, Java main method overload. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
So, I mean,
Overload, we can do it. I'm not pretty much sure about the overriding, but overload we can do that because if we try to see like overriding, so that means our daemon thread. I'm not very sure about the overriding, but overload we can do that.
so if you overload, then there will be multiple main method in the same class. So, how
Multi
the application will run?
Yeah, sure. So overloading basically means like you are changing you are changing the signature of the method. So it will always search for the main main thread will always search for the string with the parameters as the array parameters with the string. But if you overload it, so basically you do not have the same argument as well. So you can have this int, and you can provide the int array, or you can provide
Okay, got it.
yeah.
So, can we override a static method?
Static method, uh, no, no.
Okay. What is factory design pattern?
So factory design pattern is basically is a creational design pattern which enables you to design the application in such a way that the implementation of that the implementation of certain classes does not the client does not need to bother about the what is the implementation of what is the logic written behind the different classes which implement the factory method. So basically if the client, so for example let's say we have a three classes all other manufacturers of let's say a phone. So you have Samsung, you have iPhone, then you have something called Xiaomi. So if the client wants to call out Samsung, he does not need to worry about what is the implementation. So he does not need to call the Samsung class. He just need to pass he just need to pass the reference in one of the factory methods, and factory method will take care of all the which instance to return when a particular reference has been called. So basically it's a segregation of the different logic, and there's one class which is responsible for all the calling of the client, all the checking of the references. So it basically is a good practice, you can say, for enablement of the segregation between the logic part and as well as the calling part.
Okay, what is the solid design principle?
Solid design principle are basically is a way how you design the interaction of any uh, object movement, basically to minimize the effort being done on a particular software being designed. So it has let's say it consists of first S stand for single responsibility, O stand for open and closed, uh, and the third one is LS stand for lit scope substitution. I stand for the interface segregation, and D stand for dependency injection. So single responsibility basically says that if you have a, let's say, uh, if you have a class, or let's say if you have a class, so all the responsibility of that particular class has been defined within the class. So basically what it said that for a particular for a particular calling of a particular segment or for a functionality, the class should be the responsible single entity for that. Wherever open and closed principle, what it says like uh, each and every interface or class, it should be open for the extension but closed for the modification part.
Okay,
Basically,
fine,
yeah,
fine, got it.
yeah.
So, do you know what is builder design pattern?
Builder design pattern I have not worked on.
Okay, no problem. What is the difference between a wait and sleep method?
So first difference is when we call out the sleep method. So it basically put a particular running thread into a sleep mode, and but it does not release out the monitor or the log. And whenever you call the wait method on it, so the sleep method has a parameter in the millisecond. So if you define out that particular parameter within the sleep class, so that particular thread will be slept for this particular duration, and it will be automatically when reboot and do the working of it. But with the wait, whenever you call a particular wait into a particular into a particular thread, so basically what it does is like it releases out the log and it goes into the waiting state until and unless the notify method has been called for that particular thread. It will be in the waiting state. And also there are certain parameterized wait are also available, but that does not guarantee that it will be invoked after before the notify being called. And also the wait method will always be called within the synchronized block, but for the sleep method you can call it anywhere, means whenever there is a requirement for you to for the thread to be sleep for certain duration, for us to do some other operationality, then we can do that thing. Other than that, wait is a method of an object, where sleep is a method of thread class. Uh,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you know what is the difference between a runnable and callable?
Yeah, sure. So Uh, these both are an interface, and Runnable is also used to create the thread, whereas the callable is also used to call the thread. Create the thread. Whereas in Runnable actually takes out the method run, whereas the callable takes out the method call. Mm, what is the callable method?
Call.
Yeah, call. So uh, in the run method, you can see that the definition of the run method does not return any type, whereas in the call method you can return the this it return out the it has a return type, so it become very essential when you use the futures and uh, futures and the executor services, because in that case asynchronous call will be calling out and it will be returning something for the future classes, for the future to execute some operation afterward the thread has been executed, but that is not the case with the enable, and also yeah, I think these are the ones.
Okay, what is your profiling in Spring Boot?
So profiling is a mechanism by which you can define out certain parameters for all the environments which you have. So for one of the for one of the profiling you can have the in the development area, for one of the for all the configuration you have in the for the different configuration you have in the test, or you can say in a production or pre-prod or SIT. So you can define all these properties. With the profiling, what it does, it activate one of the profile in which the test in which you wanted to work on, and if you don't want to work in, then you can change out the profile. So it's a, like a Spring dot profile dot active. You can activate the dev profile. You can activate the test profile. You can activate the Q and testing profile, and it can be also invoked with the add the rate Spring profile annotation as well.
Okay. Do you know what is JPA repository interface?
JPA repository, actually I have not worked on, but as far as I concerned, it's uh, basically it acts as an persistent layer uh, in case of interaction with the database. Uh, it also has the capability of pagination and sorting as well in the JPA repository. Uh, Other than that, actually, I have not worked on it. That's why I actually cannot explain it.
Okay, no problem. What is at the rate REST controller? Okay, what is the difference between at the rate REST controller annotation
Mm.
and at the rate controller annotation?
So at the rate controller annotation is a stereotype annotation, which is basically used in an MVC architecture, whereas in the at the rate REST controller is consist of it internally consists of the at the rate controller as well as the response body. So it internally also it is basically is used in a in a RESTful API environment, where you if you define out at the class level that at the rate Spring REST controller. So all the control all the REST endpoint you can define inside it. Uh, yes, I think.
Okay. So how can you find the middle element of linked list data structure?
Okay, middle element. Mm, linked list. Okay. If I traverse through it, then there's no chance. Uh, okay. Maybe one of I'm not very sure. Uh, I think while finding out the length and So no, I don't think that can be done. I'm not pretty much sure about it.
So tell me how you will traverse the linked list data structure.
Yeah, sure. Traverse. So, for example, we start from the start node and then we hover to the next node. So, if we find out at the end, if we find out, the next node, we iterate through one by one, and at the last we said like if the address of the last node points to the null, then the iteration has ended. So then we start printing out this linked list. So the last element should, if it is null, then we stop the iteration, and if it is not null, then we iterating through it. So yeah,
So while traversing, can you find the length?
while traversing, yes, we can find the length. So
So
okay, acha, okay, got your point. Got your point. So if it is the odd one, then plus one, and then if it is okay, yeah, got your point. Got your point.
for finding the linked list, how many loops you will use?
For finding the linked list, uh,
Oh, sorry, for finding the middle element,
uh,
how many loops you will use?
how many loops will I use? Uh, I think in the while, uh, I think once we reach out the end, so it's basically a one iteration, and once we find out the length, then the if condition comes in, like if the length is odd, then it is plus one.
Forget about odd and even. Suppose you find the length and you find the middle position
Okay.
by dividing 2 or minus 1 by 2, okay?
Uh-huh.
So you found the middle, matlab half of the size.
Correct. Correct.
Now how you find the middle element?
Oh, okay, got your point, got your point. So basically, how you're going to say like this is the element. Okay, 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 got your point, got your point. Uh-huh. So I think we can do one thing like once we okay, got your point. So if we iterate through it and we say the value of the node. So every time, acha, okay, got your point, got your point. Then I think while iterating through it, like while the iteration, we can iterate till the point we find the fifth element. So, sorry, not the element. Uh, so yes, correct, correct, got your point. So in the iteration itself, we iterate. Acha, okay, but, there should. Correct, correct. Sorry about that. So in the while loop, once we iterating through it, we again count the values. So first time we iterate through it, once we reach out the next node, we say plus one. Acha, okay. Correct, correct. Once we say plus one, then again we iterate through. We find out like this is the number in which the next element in which the middle element. So let's say 6 is the middle element we found. So we iterate till 6 loop we iterate, and for the value we find out the node is there, and once we find out the node, then we can find out the value of it as well. So in
So
that
tell me
case,
how many loops you will use for finding the middle element?
uh,
I mean, for
correct,
for s- for s-
two loops will be there.
okay.
But
So
it should be optimized, I guess, because if we so initially it will be two loops, but we should be able to zero, I guess, because okay, I
okay,
think two
leave.
loops will be there.
Yeah, two loops is the basic solution.
Correct, sir.
Obviously, we can optimize it.
Correct, correct, correct.
I have given you one question in chat.
That's
So
okay.
share your screen and write the answer for it.
Sure, sir. I will share my screen first. Able to see my screen?
No.
What happened? Not able to see my screen. Not able to see my screen, sir.
I think your video gone off, so I don't know if it is your screen or not. Beside the mic button, there is
Yes,
share
yes.
content.
Actually, I clicked on it, and it is saying screen. I clicked on it as well. Uh, wait. I think my laptop not responding.
Okay, leave it. Share your video and write. No need to
No, no.
share your.
Actually, sir, just give me a moment. Actually, my cursor also not running. I just give me a moment.
Okay, okay. Maybe you can reconnect.
But actually, the cursor is not not able to find out the cursor, so I'm not close. Yeah, now you're able to see, right?
No.
What happened?
Do one thing.
Wait,
Stop
wait, wait, wait,
sharing.
sir. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. I think now
You
it will
can
be
write
visible.
the answer and put it in chat.
Now it is visible, right?
No, no. Yeah, 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 yeah. Now able to.
Okay, so let me copy the question. Able to see my screen, sir?
Yes, yes.
Even number present in the playlist. Okay, okay, okay. So let's take an I consider like this is the object of the list for which we are iterating through it. Stream. Yes, sir.
One minute. You are mapping. No, you have to return array list. You are using for each for
Okay.
printing, right? You have to return array list of integer. Okay, fine. Copy this line 5 and put it in chat.
Got it, sir?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
So I am done. So do you have any question?
Uh, yeah, so what are the projects we have in Altimetrics? If you can just
Okay,
brief.
so there are many projects in Altimetrik.
Okay,
So Altimetrik has its own product also, and there are many clients also. So this is not a project specific interview; it's a
okay,
role specific interview.
okay, sir.
Okay, so it Altimetrik has projects from all the domains.
Okay, got it,
Uh,
got it.
and even they are hiring the B school candidate also.
Oh, okay.
So, so you will have good opportunity, I think.
That's good. That's good to hear that.
Yeah. So nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Have a
Ravi, sir.
nice day.
Thank you. Have a nice
Bye.
day. You too. Happy holidays, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.